Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take your source material, your articles, notes, research, and really figure out the core logic behind some high-stakes professional decisions.
Yeah.
And today, we're zooming in on something that sounds super specific. It's the corporate airport limo service in and around the San Bernardino area.
Right.
Now, that sounds hyper-local, but the sources we have, they're not really about fancy cars. They're about understanding why some elite professionals just stop using common transportation.
That's absolutely our mission today. This isn't a deep dive into, different models of sedans.
Right.
It's about pulling out the exact, the financial and logistical calculus that busy executives use.
Yeah.
They're swapping the uncertainty of everyday travel for absolute guaranteed reliability.
You're eliminating variables.
They're eliminating variables in a really high-pressure environment. We want to know what makes this choice an essential business tool and not just some kind of perk.
And the sources, they all make this one core promise. This service is for professionals who have, and I'm quoting here, outgrown the uncertainty of apps and taxis.
That's a great line.
It is. They position it as the smarter way to move. So our goal today is to figure out why that claim holds up when you've got flights, meetings, and tight deadlines all on the line.
Well, to really get the stakes, we have to start with the geography. The sources identify San Bernardino as the heart of the Inland Empire.
Okay.
And for anyone listening who isn't familiar with Southern California logistics, that's a critical detail. It means this whole area is a massive, time-sensitive hub for the entire West Coast.
So its whole economy is based on moving people and things quickly.
Quickly and predictably, over huge distances.
That detail really shifts the whole analysis, doesn't it? It's not just about travel, it's about schedule management. The sources emphasize that the real cost isn't gas or mileage.
No.
It's the cost of time.
Yeah.
Specifically, seconds and minutes lost to traffic surprises, circling garages, parking fees, and routing errors.
So you're not booking a ride.
You're purchasing an intact schedule. That's what it comes down to. And the benefit is twofold. You keep your timeline, and you're also projecting the right image at every stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that means the service has to work perfectly across, the entire massive Southern California region.
Yeah.
It has to absorb logistical shocks that would
totally derail a solo traveler.
completely. They need to get somebody from Ontario International, which is the local airport, to a meeting in downtown LA. That is a completely different logistical puzzle. And then maybe to an event in Orange County after that. The real pressure is regional versatility.
Okay, so let's pivot to the comparison point here. If an executive is already using ride-hailing apps, which are, let's be honest, statistically pretty reliable.
Most of the time.
Yeah, maybe 95% of the time. Are we really analyzing risk reduction, or is this more of a perception play, based on image and expense accounts?
That's a fantastic question, and it really gets to the core of the business calculus here. For a professional whose time is billed at, say, thousands of dollars an hour, that 5% failure rate,
Right.
or that 5% chance of a big scheduling mistake, it's just too expensive. The sources call that 5% the hidden cost of uncertainty.
And that cost could be a missed flight, being late to a huge pitch.
Or just showing up stressed and completely unprepared.
So let's go deeper on that risk assessment. The material we have lists 4 core advantages that these professional services offer that the apps just can't.
Right.
Can you lay those out for us? But focus on the business impact, not just the features.
Certainly. These 4 points, they're all about removing those expensive variables. So the first is guaranteed reliability.
Okay.
We're talking chauffeurs who arrive exactly on time every time. Their routes are planned, they're optimized, often vetted beforehand. The business impact here is just certainty,
You remove the stress of a driver canceling last minute.
which can sabotage an entire travel day. And you get rid of surge pricing, which blows up expense reports. Second, consistent professionalism.
Meaning a uniform.
A uniform, yes,
Right.
but more than that.
Yeah.
Trained, discreet drivers who operate under consistent corporate standards. The impact isn't just looking nice. It's about brand safety.
Brand safety.
Yeah. The driver is basically an extension of your company. They ensure client confidentiality, predictable service quality, no matter what time of day it is.
That distinction is key, isn't it? It's moving past just getting from point A to point B.
Precisely.
It's about how you arrive.
Exactly. Which brings me to number 3, optimized comfort and productivity. And we're not just talking about leather seats here.
Right.
The sources stress these quiet cabins, perfect climate control, and actual space for laptops, briefcases, presentations. The business impact is a real ROI on that travel time.
You're getting work done.
You're getting 20 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted work time for every hour you're in that car. You can review slides, take secure calls, and just mentally reset between these high-pressure meetings.
And the last one.
And finally, regulatory safety and compliance. This is the non-negotiable one. We're talking licensed, commercially insured operations with rigorous, mandatory vehicle maintenance.
Which you just can't guarantee with a random rideshare.
You cannot. And for a corporate compliance officer, removing that risk is absolutely crucial for audits and for legal liability.
That frames the whole transaction perfectly. It's pure risk removal. The source material says it directly. When flights, meetings, and deadlines collide, uncertainty is expensive. So you're basically investing to stabilize the most volatile part of your day, the ground travel, to protect the outcome of everything else.
And if we shift focus to the actual use case, what's so fascinating is how the vehicle is positioned as a strategic tool, not just a ride.
The tool for what?
For preparation. The key benefit is predictability. It allows the executive to mentally prepare for the boardroom or for a tough convention schedule instead of worrying about logistics.
And that connects directly to this mobile office concept they keep mentioning. The space allows them to, and I'm quoting, review slides, take calls, and reset between sessions. It's productive time.
Right, it's not lost time.
And they really hammer the importance of discretion and privacy. That's essential for having confidential conversations en route. You know, sensitive strategy isn't being overheard.
And the external image matters too. The vehicle signals professionalism before you say a word. That's part of the strategy.
So what about the airport logistics specifically? How sophisticated does it get?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. It's way beyond just a simple curbside drop-off. They are tracking flights in real time.
So they're plugged into the airline data.
Directly, which allows them to adjust automatically if a plane lands 30 minutes early or gets delayed by an hour. This proactive staging just eliminates that stress of rushing through the terminal only to stand on the curb waiting.
And you see how varied the demands are when you look at the different airports they serve. Ontario, or ONT, is the fast, convenient hub for the Inland Empire.
Right, those are usually shorter, high-speed runs.
But contrast that with LAX. A transfer from San Bernardino to LAX can be an hour, maybe more, through some of the worst traffic in the country.
Yeah. And there, the goal isn't speed. It can't be. The goal is allowing the traveler to relax or work during the longer drive. The service is selling the ability to turn that guaranteed frustration into a quiet, focused period.
And then they also mentioned John Wayne Airport, SNA, for Orange County meetings, and Palm Springs, PSP, for those desert connections.
And the constant through all of that is the door-to-door service. You avoid circling parking garages, waiting for shuttles, wrestling with luggage. All that energy-sapping stuff is just gone.
Which brings us to a common misconception, right? The idea that this is just extra, a luxury.
Exactly. But if you connect it to the bigger picture, the sources argue that for corporate teams, for groups, it's actually a really cost-effective measure.
The cost-saving argument is purely logistical. Think about a team traveling. One executive SUV or a Sprinter van can replace 3, maybe 4 separate ride shares.
Which streamlines the whole staging process.
Everyone arrives together, everyone leaves together, the team stays aligned, and when you split that single cost across multiple passengers, the per-person rate often comes way down.
And you're getting better reliability and comfort, which helps the team stay focused. We also have to underline the compliance angle again.
For the big enterprise clients.
Yes. Licensed chauffeurs, commercial insurance, those aren't bonuses. They're the required baseline. For legal and finance departments, that's non-negotiable.
And for visiting VIPs, it becomes part of the hospitality experience.
Yeah.
It sets the right tone from the moment they land.
Right. It enhances the brand perception.
The sources do briefly mention the same precision applies to leisure travel, too. You know, wine tours and Temecula concerts, that kind of thing.
But from a business perspective, the 24/7 convenience is what's paramount. Business doesn't stop for red-eye flights or late client dinners. The transport has to match that schedule.
Okay, so we've established the why and the how. Now for the practical takeaway. For anyone listening who manages corporate travel, the sources give a really detailed 5-step process to guarantee it all goes smoothly.
And this is where you see the synergy. Even the best service needs good, detailed input from the user to be fully optimized.
Right. What's step 1?
Step 1, book early for peak dates. Seems obvious, but during big conventions, holidays, major concerts, the fleet can get exhausted instantly. Booking early locks in the vehicle you need.
Okay.
Step 2, share the full itinerary. And that means everything. Flight numbers, Meeting addresses, specific building details, gate numbers. That's the data that lets them manage all the variables.
And step 3 is about the vehicle itself.
Right-size the vehicle, yeah. Don't book a sedan for 3 people with a week's worth of luggage. Match the car to the need sedan for one, SUV for a small team, a Sprinter for a larger group. It prevents discomfort and waste.
The last 2 steps seem like they're really specific to Southern California.
They're the most critical for local operations because they deal with the choke points. Step 4, always add buffer time.
Especially for LAX.
Especially for LAX corridors and those rush hour choke points. The service can plan the perfect route, but it can't defy the physical reality of gridlock at 4:30 p.m. The user has to build in that cushion.
That input is so crucial. Even with the best tech, you still have to account for that one unmovable variable, Southern California traffic.
Exactly. And the last one, step 5. Request specific amenities, Wi-Fi, water, a child seat, whatever it is. Listing those needs ensures the cabin is perfectly tailored for that day's agenda.
So if the service is already so professional, why is the user's input, the itinerary, the buffer time, why is that so critical?
It's because the service provides the reliability framework, but maximum optimization comes from that synergy. You can't track a flight you don't know about. You can't beat traffic without a realistic schedule that acknowledges the regional reality.
Which brings us full circle. This deep dive really shows that the choice of executive transport in these high-pressure environments is about controlling 2 things: time and image. The service gives you predictability, comfort, and professionalism. It turns travel time from lost time back into productive, actionable time.
And the sources drive home a really clear conclusion here. If predictability, comfort, and your image matter professionally, then you should travel the way other professionals do, on time and on your terms.
It's an investment in the outcome.
It's an investment in a favorable outcome for your day, not just a transaction to get from one place to another.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to consider based on this high-stakes analysis we've done today. If time saved is money earned, how often does optimizing your ground travel truly change the outcome of a critical meeting? By ensuring you arrive rested, prepared, and focused.
What is the unseen cost of that 5% chance of uncertainty in your own professional routine?
Think about that until the next deep dive.